What's up? It's Andy, and I'm here for one final pick'em contest over at No House Advantage. We're taking a look at the Super Bowl. We're giving you some of our favorite picks, or at least some of my favorite picks, as we try to take first place in this contest. If you haven't played all season and you've waited for the Super Bowl, man, you waited a long time, but hey, better late than never. Here's how the contests go over at No House Advantage. There's the Pick'em contest, which we're about to take part in. It's a tournament-style contest where you pick player props associated with these players. And the more that you get right, the higher you rise in the standings and get closer to that top prize. Then there's also a Versus the House contest, which we already submitted picks for, where you pick 5 player props. It can be across all sports, and if you're right on those 5, you make 21 times your money. It's a fantastic deal. And speaking of fantastic deals, if you go over to No House Advantage using the link provided in the description of this video, they're going to match your first deposit up to $100. So you put in 100, you get 100, you take part in the Pick'em, then Reverse the House, and who knows, you're just going to be swimming in money post Super Bowl. So looking at these picks on Super Bowl Sunday, you're going to start with the best one you could possibly have, a free square. Remember in Scrabble when they had that blank one and it could be anything and then you didn't even use it properly and came up with a word that wasn't that creative anyway? Well, they're giving you a free square. Patrick Mahomes under 1,000 passing yards. Click that, you got one free one right there. Then moving on from there, I personally believe this is not going to be a Super Bowl unless Travis Kelce is heavily involved. I know everyone's taking him to score a touchdown. We don't have that available to us here, but I do think 85 yards is well within the realm of capabilities. We all know how the Eagles have strategically over decades struggled with the tight ends. I'm hoping this comes through one more time. We also know Andy Reid is creative with the tight. Even if they're doubling him, they'll use those delayed screens where they keep him on the line. They have ways to get him involved, even if the Eagles are doubling him on every single play. I'll trust that Mahomes will be able to get him the ball somehow, some way. I'll take the over on Travis Kelce receiving yards. Then in the Chiefs backfield, I'm looking at Isiah Pacheco. If you looked how he was utilized in that game versus Cincinnati Bengals, it was a little bit different than his previous use. He caught a couple more screens. He had over 50 receiving yards. So I'm actually going to take the over on his combined rushing and receiving. If the Eagles are able to stuff him on the ground, I do have faith after watching him play against Cincinnati, especially if Mahomes' ankle is not at 100%, he's going to get a chance to bust one with one of those screens, kind of like he did last week, and we know he's great in space. Give me a chance for him to bust one on the ground or through the air. I like the over on Isiah Pacheco rushing plus receiving yards. I also like the over on receiving for Jerick McKinnon, and that stems from potentially Mahomes' ankle not being at 100%. If that's the case and he has even relatively limited mobility, he's going to be more likely to check the ball down. I mean, he utilized McKinnon a ton even when he was fully healthy. You can only imagine if he's under pressure and somewhat immobile, he's going to be dumping it off to McKinnon in the flats. And I know McKinnon had one bad game there, but if you look at the stretch before that, he was a catching machine. So I'm going to take the over on receiving yards for Jerick McKinnon. And then there's a guy on the Eagles. I just refuse to believe he's going to go all playoffs long without a blow-up spot, and that's A.J. Brown. I'm going to take the over on A.J. Brown receiving. We know him and Hurts have a great rapport. And we even saw multiple deep shots attempted at him versus the 49ers. They just weren't able to click on one. I think another 2 weeks of Hurts being able to recover from whatever that shoulder injury is that's been lingering, I think A.J. Brown is going to catch one of these deep ones throughout the course of this game. I'm going to take the over on A.J. Brown receiving yards. And I'm going to go down with the ship if this one doesn't come through for us. But I have been on Juju Smith-Schuster as long as his totals have been low, and he's kind of been screwing me the whole time. But now it's so low, it reminds me of like when Clyde Edwards-Helaire was 4,800 on DraftKings. You just have to take 37.5 receiving yards. That's like 2 catches. I have to take the over on Juju Smith-Schuster receiving yards. But if you don't agree with any of these picks, I got good news for you. You can go over to Stokastic.com. They offer free projections for this actual contest. So make sure you go over there, check those out. And then, you know, who knows? Maybe you can take first place. And during this, no better time than the last contest, the fadeaway 3 to win the game. Like that Kawhi Leonard shot that hit off the rim and ended the Philadelphia 76ers dreams that offseason. So that's what I got for you here. Make sure you check out that Versus the House video that we already submitted. We got some picks on that one as well. And then I'll be back to take on the house with the NHL on Tuesday. All right, I will see you then. Take it easy.